We are Pro Cannabis Media.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another very special edition of LinkedIn Live in the Weeds with Jimmy Young. So happy to have a very special winner of a recent competition here in the greater Boston area, New England. The New England Cannabis Convention Awards ceremony gave out the Best Cannabis Company Award to Bud's Place, right? And it's Alex Mazin. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, what it meant to you to have that award given out this past weekend at NECANN.
Well, first off, Jimmy, thanks for having me. Winning that award is just the best way for me to summarize it is it's a dream that's manifesting. You know, when I set out on this endeavor over 6.5 years ago, I always thought in my mind that like eventually a cannabis company in New England will come together as a New England cannabis company. And that was always something very exciting for me to achieve. So this is, you know, just the beginning for us to be acknowledged as even a New England cannabis company would have been enough of an award for Bud's Goods. But to be acknowledged as the best only means that, you know, we have a dream and we're on the path of achieving that dream on a daily basis. So, you know, I'm not letting it get to my head, but it does validate hard work does pay off.
And you have 2 dispensaries now open and one in the opening phases in Watertown. So tell us exactly where people can find Bud's Place.
So it's Bud's Goods, just to
Bud's
clarify.
Goods. Bud's Goods. Sorry, my bad. It's okay.
No worries. So our first store opened in Worcester, Massachusetts, off of West Boylston Street. You know, just put it in Google and it will pop up. Our second location is in Abington, which is in the South Shore of Massachusetts, just south of Weymouth. Same thing, right on the main strip of Route 18. And then our third location will be this winter, which is in Watertown on the Waltham side of Watertown on Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
So what makes that property really special and unique is it's actually the only retail dispensary in the same building as residential in the state of Massachusetts. So it's a brand new building. We were able to secure a lease on the first ground floor. And then we have something like 55 apartment units directly above us.
Boy, that makes it delivery easy.
Yeah. Yep.
You can walk down, pick it up. I love that idea. That idea. Amazing. Tell me about what differentiates your dispensary from others in the same space. And I think I know the answer, but I'm going to let you answer it.
I mean, it's a multi-pronged answer, right? I think it's the fact that we look at everything from convenience of its location to parking to exterior appeal and design, you know, but ultimately I really focus on hospitality and experience, and then pair that with menu and value. So, you know, ultimately, I think it's the way our store looks, it's the way our store feels, it's the variety of products we have on our menu and the quantity that we have and the pricing that we offer, but also the amount of energy we put into our staff to train them. And then the diversity of our staff to make sure that, you know, no matter who you are, you could probably relate to someone on the team. And that's really important because we spend a lot of time and energy just focusing on retail and the customer. And I think there are a lot of operators that have taken on a lot of different parts of the cannabis business, growing, processing, packaging, product manufacturing, edible companies, yada, the list goes on. And for Bud's Goods, we're really just focused on retail and being a really, you know, aligning to the consumer and focusing because the customer is changing. The person who buys cannabis, their buying habits are changing. And we see that. We're really focused on that.
Yeah, one of the fastest growing demographic groups is that 50 plus group, the group that perhaps whether they be baby boomers or not, but they may have experimented or used back in the day when they were in college in the 70s or the 80s. And now, they're older and they're looking to improve their wellness, improve their lifestyle, if you will. And they come into your dispensary looking to rediscover what the plant offered them maybe 20, 30 years ago. And I'm guessing also that they're also looking for other products besides the flower. Even though we both know in this business, flower still dominates the industry, they're looking for other ways to titrate, to infuse it into their bodies, into their systems through edibles or concentrates or what have you. Are you finding that to be true at Bud's Goods too? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think society is aware that, medication isn't always the best path to a health solution. And so people are taking other measures to try to approach whatever their challenges are more holistically. And so, it's one thing to get someone who's never consumed cannabis to consume it via smoking it or inhaling it.
Mm-hmm.
But we offer such a large variety of other methods and what I call vehicles of consumption, that, the more normal we can make you feel as you're consuming cannabis, the easier and more open-minded you will be to consuming cannabis. So things like edibles or beverages, topicals and tinctures. We now have a product called Squeeze that is sort of, a liquid that you add to any beverage and it automatically infuses that beverage. Or, for fun, we carry an infused ice cream. I mean, these are things that, like, someone who may not be a consumer but interested would probably say, well, it's just ice cream, or it's just a seltzer, or it's just the, we're breaking the stigma down. It's not just vaping and smoking or what I call combustible consumptions.
Are you feeling a break in the stigma? Are you feeling a sense of more normalization over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, that's the role our company plays. Our company's job is to break down those stigmas and those norms. Like, our customers are repeat customers. They're not traveling 3 hours to come to a dispensary. We're part of their habit. We're what I call an essential retail. And I think that's different than just a standard retail, because a retail is really an environment in which a consumer comes into and is unsure whether they're going to be making a purchase. That's different than what we are. So we're more along the lines of like a liquor store or a grocery store or a gas station. It's something you go to and the conversion of you making a purchase is close to 100%. And so we're really understanding all of that and trying to make it feel very normal of a customer experience. So that way it doesn't feel, conflicting in behavior for the consumer to enter the market of shopping at a dispensary.
And when they get there, are they greeted by bud tenders? Do they walk up to the counter? What's the experience of actually walking into your dispensary? Is each one different right now?
Each one is different. Each one will have a theme of its own. Our first store in Worcester has more of an old school Americana diner feel and vibe. And when you enter that store, first off, when you come to a Bud's, you don't show an ID at the door. You don't have to be buzzed in to enter the building. It's not, a fortress. You're able to just grab the door, open it, and walk in. And that in and of itself is something, I made sure happened. And so you walk in, you're greeted you're greeted by one of our sales associates. They take your ID, then they walk you into the actual retail floor. So it's a little more hospitality retail-esque in that front. In terms of once you're in the floor, it's sort of designed like a bar counter. Whenever you're ready, you can walk up. And then in our second store in Abington, it's more of like a movie. The idea is more of like an old school movie theater vibe. Something, not these huge ones that we're accustomed to from the 2000s, but more from like the 60s and 70s. And so you walk in as if you're buying a movie ticket, you get a movie ticket, you get to walk into the showcase and experience all of it. So, we have different themes, but we're really focused not just on the customer's experience from the moment they walk in, but from the moment they're approaching the property. That's where the experience begins.
Bud's Goods is the name. Guessing you had some fun coming up with that one. Is there a story about the original name on this dispensary?
Well, originally we started off in the medical program with something a lot more medically driven. I ended up starting this business with a very dear friend, and now another one of our partners. And so at the end of the day, we're buds, we're friends, and like that's how it started. And I think cannabis is a very inclusive product, and so it's a friend-based thing. We want people to come in with their friends or their buds, and there's a lot of fun we just have with the brand, from the branding to the persona to what it means to us and how it was founded and all these things. It only reiterates that the name was well picked for us.
There you go. Buds Goods have good buds for buds, right? I mean, you've heard this one how many times, right?
Exactly. And that was part of the element is I think the cannabis industry is very serious, but it doesn't need to be serious to the consumer. And so, we try to make it fun on the forefronts.
Hey, and lastly, I've got to ask the community outreach question, because every person I talk to that's in this industry, we all feel like we have a charge from above to reach out, to share the knowledge and experiences we've had perhaps with the product and in the industry with others. What are some of the things that you guys are doing in the various communities that you're taking part in as far as business goes?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we revitalized a completely abandoned area, where that's first and foremost. Beyond that, we get involved at the local level. We've helped clean up parks and elementary school benches that have been broken. We've donated to a few incidences that have occurred in Worcester that hit the community hard. It's important to know, like, I grew up in Worcester, so giving back to the community is very personal to me. One of the other things we're working on now is, after COVID, a lot of small businesses have been hit hard, and being a business leader, like, that breaks my heart. And anything I can do to support the businesses around me, that's what we're trying to help to start. Because I think if you help the businesses, you can create the jobs, which create societies that are functioning and performing and safer and happier. So,
gotcha. And it's Buds Goods in Abington and in Worcester and Watertown soon, correct?
Yes, the Watertown is soon. The other two are open.
And there you go. And of course, is it budsgoods.com?
It is. It's budsgoods.com.
There you go. That's where you find them. And that's Alex Mazin. And congratulations, Alex, on being named the best cannabis company in New England, according to the New England Cannabis Convention. When you heard your name and they read it, were you excited about that, or do you expect it? Come on.
No, I was totally shocked. Honestly, this is all surreal to me. I'm just working hard on something I believe in. And, I recently was asked what my hobbies were, and like, this is my hobby. This is my life. That, cannabis is my hobby. And, I was very shocked, but at the same time, I feel like we are working hard to deserve something of that nature. And I would put our brands against any brand in the country. And, it's because we're on the ground every day in the trenches with the team. We're not just a bunch of financiers who are being told by lawyers what to do.
There you go. And lastly, your reaction to actually having a face-to-face convention in cannabis again, coming off this past weekend in Boston. We started our podcast, our little venture here in March of 2018 at the New England Cannabis Convention. And here we are a few years later. We're all still in business and we're all starting to thrive, which is a great journey. Wasn't it great to get back together again and see people face to face?
Yeah, I mean, it almost felt like the industry paused there for a little bit. Well, I don't know if I was just too far deep into my own little hole of figuring it all out, but it was kind of nice because I had to kind of step away to remain focused, and it just happened to be the year that went on pause for the world. So I feel like I didn't miss out on anything, and the world is back, and I was able to disappear without missing out.
There you go. It's like time stood still for a second, and now we're all back at it, ready to rock. Alex Mazin, first of all, congratulations again. I look forward to meeting you face to face because I missed you at the face to face convention, but this was pretty darn good, and I appreciate you taking the time to join us here on our LinkedIn Live version of In the Weeds with Jimmy Young. So for Alex Mazin, I'm Jimmy Young. We'll see you next time, and remember to like, share, and subscribe because it's a whole new world of weed out there. Use it responsibly. Weed Talk and In the Weeds are two productions of Pro Cannabis Media supported by Revolutionary Clinics, one of the top medical cannabis dispensaries in the Massachusetts area, now with 3 locations in Greater Boston, 2 in Cambridge and 1 on Broadway in Somerville. Rev Clinics has a patient-first mission. They will customize your needs as a medical patient with the proper titration and combination of strains, flavors, and products. Rev Clinics, where the patient comes first.
Hi, I'm Ben Shower, New England rep for Salient Video Management Systems. Let me tell you what makes us different in the security space. We're your trusted advisors for all your security needs. I know how complicated the regulations are in cannabis, and working with Salient Systems will be the polar opposite of that. I give free consultations and will walk you through every step of the process so that you can get what you need at the price you can afford. We're robust, we're simple and scalable. We're Salient Systems, your solutions to all your security needs. Please contact me at the information below, and I'm looking forward to being your trusted advisor.
Pro Cannabis Media programming is available live and on demand on our Facebook page at Pro Canna Media, on Instagram at Pro Cannabis Media, on LinkedIn also at Pro Cannabis Media, on YouTube and YouTube Live on Pro Cannabis Media, Twitter at Pro Canna Media, and on twitch.tv/Pro Cannabis Media. So like, share, and subscribe to all of our content, newsletters, and shows live or on demand.
We are Pro Cannabis Media.